Should we try and synchronise the clap?
Is that what she said?
Count us in then, Steve.
Yeah, give us a count in.
What do you want? A 3 count or a
Are we going on 3 or are we going on 4?
What do we normally do when we start a song?
Well, we all sort of start at different times, and then we feel like it, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go 1, 2, 3.
3 of us get it right, and Damo looks at us. What?
1, 2, 3, clap. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Go on
go.
then.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Stevemo
And the masters of
Rhythm Section.
I am Adam.
I'll knob about with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. How wrong could it get anyway?
I mean, I know people are probably expecting it to be high production value and stuff.
I was going to say, ladies and
Those people are
gentlemen,
idiots.
welcome to Wood.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets.
I think Steve wins for the nicest background so far as well. But,
Okay, I got my my superstar lights on there and everything.
yeah, exactly. Whereas Luke's gone for guitars. I've gone for mess.
You have guitars as well, bud.
Yeah, they're just cases though. But
He's not got them
shit in the
out.
way.
Props.
Damon keeps his packed away. I have mine out on show.
No. They're all out as well. See.
Was that a porn mag?
No, no, that's it's a guitar sheet music.
So yes,
Thing.
then.
Are the pages stuck together? Down.
All right.
We're launching straight into it? No, hello guys, how you been? Haven't seen you for about a year.
I
Fucking
was going to
hell.
say, yeah.
Look at you, haven't you grown? Sort
No,
of
we're going to launch into it. We'll find out as we go.
Yeah, they might be my questions actually.
What? Hello, how are you?
Haven't you
How
grown?
have you been?
Exactly.
Have you grown? I don't know. But Gav, you need to say this is
Woodcast episode 4. This is our 3rd time recording it because technical / moron issues.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
no, it's not technical, is it? Let's be honest.
We're Muppets. It's simple.
Nick.
Yeah. I mean, it's our own fault for expecting that we would have done it right.
I thought you were about to say it's your own fault for having me and Damien in the band. You blame yourself, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're
We
enabled.
blame us as well.
It's my fault for allowing you in
Exactly.
the band.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Who
have
does
you
it
got...
feature this week, Gav?
Pardon?
Who does it feature this week? Notice I say this week.
Who's featured? Well, we've got Stevemo, who plays drums and bass in Wood.
Aye.
Yeah. And actually, fun fact, Stevemo is 2 people, not 1.
or is
We
it?
don't know where they begin and where they end.
Yeah.
Human Centipede,
Right.
the 4th chapter, whatever it's called.
Yeah, push me, pull you off. When God created man, she was only practicing.
But if I had been there and punched you in the face, you would have gone.
Well,
Massive
there we go.
wooden shit's going badoing,
Yeah.
badoing.
I think.
There we go.
You don't have to
I think it's too much.
Cheese has feelings too. Frogs can suck my balls. No.
Are we robots in this scenario? I can imagine it gets quite swampy.
Here we go.
Absolute music retards.
Yeah.
Ping pongs out of a fanny.
I see your point of view now. I'm going to stop eating cheese.
Like early 90s Bruce Dickinson, just with grey hair.
Yeah.
She could use a tampon to apply the copper plating.
Well, not your mum's, not specifically your one's mum's underwear.
Something I still struggle with.
I got a new Stanley knife the other day.
Projectile vomit for 3 days afterwards.
Option 1.
Hang on. Oh no, it was.
The more you know.
Amazing.
There you go.
Amazing. Welcome to Woodcast episode 4.
Got some questions for you. I've got some questions for you. I've got some questions. I've got some questions. I've got some questions for you. Din, din.
Okay, so my first question then, for all 3 of you, is: can you name me your top 3 potato dishes in order?
In order, okay.
In order of what preference?
No, in an order: 1, 2, 3.
So yes, yeah.
And order.
Yes.
And
It could be an
order.
order of hatred if you wanted.
But no, yeah, it could be the difficulty
top
of
three.
making them.
Okay.
The
Who-
top
who-
three potato
Are we
dishes.
all genuinely thinking about this? We're just too stunned about the shiteness of the first question. I mean, this
I'll
is the
go-
best one, and it gets
I'll
worse
go-
from here, right?
I'll go first. Right.
Yeah.
Number 1, crisps.
Yeah, good choice.
Number 2, chips. Number 3, potato farls.
Oh, okay, that feels.
Fuck's
I
a
was
potato
surprised that people chose you said you chose crisps because a lot of people won't choose crisps because they don't sort of instantly think, oh, that's a potato dish. But
It is.
So it's all in the presentation, right?
yeah,
All right. Well, I'm going to go for chips. You go for, I'd say, let's push the boat out and go for the Heston Blumenthal triple cooked chip. If you want to be a fancy twat. Then dauphinoise, and then cheese and onion walkers.
have you had the Heston Blumenthal triple cooked chips? So how do you know they're the number one?
Because they are, aren't they?
But he didn't say what he might not be. They might be order of which he's never had.
Yeah, good point.
I assume they're really good because chips are ace,
Yeah.
and he reckons it's the best way of doing it. So
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Damo?
Dauphinoise, chips, crisp, I reckon.
You and Steve may as well just combine
you
your
didn't say what
answer.
flavour.
Yeah, good
I
point.
love Dauphinoise potatoes. What do I say? You know.
Yeah. Gav, when was the
You
last time you had dauphinoise potatoes?
When we were camping one weekend, and Ollie made them in the world's largest pan.
That, because I guess, is there vegan cream? Would that hold up to
Oh, Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could, but
It depends how much you fucking hated the person you're serving it to.
Exactly.
yeah, I don't think you would really want. I don't think that would be your
Fair enough.
preference.
I think that's something that if you became vegan, you just give up. I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just eat chips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Question number 2, again for all three of you. If you could jump into anyone from Wood's body for 24 hours, whose body would it be and what would you do?
That's weirdly close to one of my questions,
Ooh.
but not the exact same.
Who would I jump into? Are we talking like sort of metaphysically or like
You would be,
giving them?
it would be your soul in that person's body and that person's situation. So, literally just like a bit like Quantum Leap.
I know my answer.
But there would be no sort of oh boy moment. Nothing bad was happening. You just had 24 hours in that body. You could do whatever you wanted.
I know my answer.
On and Gav.
Somebody on Gumtree was selling a Messy Boogie dual rectifier head for like 600 quid, and it was up in Nantwich or somewhere near where Damo lives. So I would take Damo's body today, go and test the amp, see does it work, then buy it and ship it down to Bristol if it was good.
You could have just asked me. It's not like I'm like my
What would
weekends
you
are
do
free
with
at the moment.
But that's true.
Yeah. Well, what would you do with the other sort of 22 hours?
Play on Mesa Boogie, I'd imagine.
Yeah, play the amp. Skype you guys. I don't know.
You never guess what's happened.
It'd be like your body just lying there like that.
Exactly. Yeah. That one. Yeah. It's
That's a good
fine.
point. Would you?
I do loads of-
swap over.
I do loads of horrible tattoos.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Steve, Damo, have you come up with yours?
I don't know. It's a weird question. I mean, if it was like literally anyone, but like, I don't know.
No, not literally anyone.
I know,
Any
please
one of
don't.
the three of us.
I know, if it was literally anyone.
But it's not.
No.
What are you, a politician?
On the one
Can
Can I rephrase your question and not answer it?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can say what you like.
I don't know. I don't know. Luke, because I haven't looked around your place yet, and I could go for a walk in Plymouth. That'd be quite fun. So.
Yeah.
I reckon I'd jump into Damien at the same time as Gab jumping into him, just see if we can both fit.
And we'd be fighting. That person would be selling the amp, and we'd be like,
Why do I want this fucking amp? What the fuck is it anyway?
Exactly. What does all this stuff do anyway?
Men in Black. You know, there's that weird guy in Men in Black.
Oh yeah. It's got two people.
Pizza place or whatever. You could be like him.
Really?
I would jump into either Damo or Gav and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep for the day. Remember what undisturbed sleep was like, and
It's a precious thing, isn't it?
Right, so we'll go to the next one. Okay, so I've made my questions specific for Damo and Steve. However, really anyone can answer them. If you like, so this one will start with Damo.
It doesn't sound very specific to me.
Well, I mean, it's just because they've got Damo written at the beginning of this question, but it really could be for anyone. I don't know why.
It's specific in the way that he's a strict vegan.
Yeah, it's extremely.
Does bacon count?
It's strictly either just for Damo or everyone. Nothing else.
Okay.
Okay. Iron Maiden. You
Yeah.
have to listen to them all day, every day, for the rest of your life, or never again.
So I can't listen to any other bands at all.
No, you can still listen to, I don't know, whatever you want, but you can just never listen to Iron Maiden ever again. Or you have, not all day, every day, but you have to listen to them every single day, the rest of your life, or never again.
No, but what I mean is, it's like I can only listen to Iron Maiden, or I can never listen to Iron Maiden.
No, you have to listen to them for like 1 hour every day for the rest of your life, or never again.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do that already?
Not always, no. But it's like, Iron Maiden t-shirt. But it's like, that's a fairly easy one. I'll just listen to them every day.
But like, after 20 years, it would start getting old, and you'd be like, I want to listen to something else, and I've only got
I've
an
been
hour.
listening to them since I was like a teenager, so...
Okay.
Winter's mood. Like I said, I sometimes go for months without listening to them, but I generally go back to them at some point.
All right, cool. Anyone else?
Take it back. Your questions.
I can answer that question, Gav.
Yeah.
I would do the not listen to. I can't remember the last time I listened to it. I like Fear of the Dark. I think that's a great song. But that's it. That was my Bruce Dickinson impression.
Hey, speaking of Iron Maiden, did anyone see on Twitter that the guy from the Charlatans, Tim?
Yeah.
Somebody from Charlatans. He had a Twitter listening party, and it was on Power Slave. Because it was their 666th listening parties they did about Iron Maiden.
Oh wow.
Did anybody tell him why he had to be a Power Slave, or?
No, I mean he didn't want to die or anything, but
fair enough.
Yeah. He was a god. Why couldn't he live?
So I got to warn you. I've peaked on my questions, and they're going to get less interesting from now on. This one's for Steve. Steve, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Which is your favourite?
Yes.
Okay. All right, back to Luke.
No. I think you're going to get in more trouble saying yes all the time, or more trouble saying no.
It depends what the questions are, doesn't it, really? And who you're with.
Yeah, but that's the hypothetical nature of this question.
Wasn't there a documentary with Jim Carrey where he went around saying yes for a year?
Yeah,
or
well,
something?
it's based on Danny Wallace, isn't it? He actually did it. So he did it and wrote a book, and that's what that film comes from. So
but
Danny Wallace.
Very few people actually ask you yes/no questions in life, do they?
Yeah, exactly. It's
many
very
people
much directly proportional to if anyone knows that that's what you're doing, or whether they ask you.
Well, yeah, but if people know what you're doing, then you say things like, "Would you like to be a piece of shit?"
With it.
And then they
Exactly.
say, "Yes, I'd love to be a piece of shit." And then,
people say things like, "Are you going to go to the gig tomorrow night?" And you'd be like, I mean,
you have to say yes to that.
You have to say yes, even if you're not going. But then you have, because the question isn't, do you want to go?
You have to go to the
go.
gig. Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah, you can be lying. I mean, I could say yes and then go, I ain't going to that.
Do you like?
There's that other documentary that Jim Carrey made about a man that lied a lot.
Yeah.
That was the best documentary ever.
Do you remember when he got stuck
I'm aware
in
of
that
that
dome
documentary.
thing?
Hey? Sorry, Gav.
He got stuck in that dome thing for most of his
Truman
life.
Show.
That
Yeah.
was a good
That wasn't a documentary. That was a reality TV show.
Reality
The
TV
world
show.
of difference.
All right. So yeah, that
Cool.
concludes my first two
Well
questions.
done.
Okay.
Luke, you're back
so
in the room, mate. Well done.
My third question is in a two-part question, and actually, it's quite apt having looked at Damo's background. So, the first part of it is really, really dull, but quite interesting because it can. So, what was the last album that you bought? And then, what was the last album that surprised you, good and/or bad?
I know
Album
my-
I bought.
I know my
I think
answers for
now.
that. Do you want me to
It might
answer
have-
whilst you're thinking, or do you want to, you know, your answer?
Well, he is trying to talk. Yeah, if you shut the fuck up and let him talk. Honestly, Christ.
I think he was saying talk over me, Gav. Is what he was
I'm
saying.
I think the last album I bought was Victory Lap by Propaganda.
Wow.
I think, which is obviously a little while ago now.
When it
Yeah.
came out,
What?
when it came out,
Yeah.
you haven't just bought it recently, like you haven't just bought.
No. I bought. That's the last album I bought, rather than just kind of listen to and stuff.
This on
So-
Spotify.
Yeah, but I very rarely buy stuff unless I really like it.
Okay.
So what?
That's fair.
So what was the other part of the question? Is what was the last album that disappointed me
Last
that I
album that
listened
surprised
to?
surprised you,
Me.
good or bad?
That I listened to regardless of purchase.
Yeah, just something that you listen to.
In general, that surprised me.
Hmm. So it could be something you were really looking forward to, and then you listen to it, and you're just like, oh, fucking. I remember when Reuben's third album came out, and I got home from holiday, and it was on my doorstep. I opened it up. We had a long drive, and I listened to it in the car, and I was absolutely gutted. It was terrible.
What was the name of that one, mate?
Sorry?
What was the name of that one?
In Nothing We Trust. It's got like a robot walking down. The first three songs are amazing, and then not good. But Damo, keep thinking. We've got your last album. Steve, do you know your answers? Gav's just said he knows his.
Yeah, but I'm deliberately going to talk an awful lot without saying anything, so he can't give us his answer. So I genuinely, I haven't bought an album for fucking years because I go on Spotify all the time. Does that count? Because I was listening to a lot of Reuben stuff the other day, and I thought this is disappointing. So it might have been the same album that you're talking about just then.
First two albums are good. Race Car Backwards and Very Fast, Very Dangerous is really good. Although the first time I heard Very Fast, Very Dangerous, the opening song, I thought, because Carl, who used to be the bass player in Quiet Attack, gave me a ripped copy of it, and I thought he'd given me a Muse album because the bass is very similar to Muse, and it all kicks in and it's much better.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was listening to Mongol Horde recently, the White album that he did. And I thought, that's fucking good. And that reminded me of Reuben, but I thought it was really, really good. But I didn't buy that. It was on Spotify. Last one that I bought physically, I can't remember. One that I was most disappointed with, which was not the last one, but it's ages ago, was the Group Dog Drill one, which I thought was toss and still do.
Yeah.
Very
Can't
first,
get into that at all.
and he brought out one.
I don't know, Half Nelson, whatever it's called, Full Nelson. Or...
I got my cigarette or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that song's
well,
right, and the rest of it's just balls. But yeah, that was about 25 years ago. So anyway, Gav, we'll come to you in a second. Damien, what's the one that disappointed you?
Surprised me.
you?
That's everything. It doesn't have to be, it surprised you. So it could be one that you're just like, I'm never going to like this. Or you're in the car and someone's playing an album and you're just like, oh, what's this? This is quite good. And they say, oh, it's the Spice Girls. You're like, oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't say probably the band that's not necessarily their album that surprised me recently was a band called Spirit Box, where I didn't think I'd necessarily like them, but I really like them. So I keep listening to they've got like an EP/album that I keep sticking on.
What sort of music is it?
It's kind of female vocals with some growling and kind of some genty stuff, some ambienty type stuff. I just kind of a big mix of things, Canadians and all that kind of thing. So if anything, it links back to Propaganda. So
did you say it's Spirit Box?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. I'll have a listen.
Go on then, Gav. Go on.
You'll probably need to listen. There's quite a few weird different songs on there. Like there's some that are just heavy and some that are just mellow and ones that are all in between. Anyway,
All right. Cool. Okay. Guff.
Well, the only reason that it's easy to answer is because I bought a new album the other day, and I was surprised by an album earlier today that I messaged you
not
about.
the same one,
So-
buddy chub.
No, it's a different one. So I bought, the last album I bought was they remastered Shelter. They have an album called 20 Summers Past, and they're like 90s Hare Krishna hardcore band that I used to like back in the day. So
Cool.
that's really cool. So I bought that, arrived the other day, and then the album that shocked me. So quite often you might play a gig with a local band and go, they're pretty good, and then you go and look them up on Spotify or whatever, and you listen to it and go, yeah, that's good for a local band. But we played last year with this band called Hummer, and they released an album at the end of 2020, and I just got around to listening to it today, and it is outstanding. And it's not like it's good for a local band, it's just fucking good. It's really good. Sounds like Hot Water Music or something. Like, who are a band I really like. So
I was going to say, what the fuck is Hot Water Music?
they're a band that sound like Hummer.
Which I hear that's really good.
I do know Hot Water Music.
They did some stuff with Leatherface.
Yeah, they did stuff
Yeah,
like they did a split with
Had a bit
Leatherface.
like Leatherface. Yeah,
Anyway,
they did.
Steve,
Right.
after this is finished, I'll send you a link to Hummer and you can have a
Would you?
listen.
That'd be great.
I think you'd like it. It's cool. It's kind of rocky, punky.
Yeah.
It's good.
Did I come across as being sarcastic? I genuinely was saying thank you for doing that. Sorry.
The last album I bought, because you were asking,
Yeah.
because you care, was actually the Be Nice. No, not Be Nice. Be Well.
Be well.
Nice. The Be Well album is actually technically the last, but the last album that turned up at my house was the Billy No Mates album, which is good, worth listening to. The album that surprised me, there's two, three actually. Sorry. So the one that surprised me, they're all good surprises as well, was Jeff Rosenstock, because I got this link through saying you should check out Jeff Rosenstock album, so I did, and I loved it so much I bought it there and then. It was that good. It surprised me. It was that good because I've heard his other stuff and I was like, no, it's not really my cup of tea. But this last record was just amazing. But the other one, Damo, which is extremely pertinent based on what is over your left shoulder. That's the one. Well done. Put your arm down a bit. So I had never listened to that White Wild Hearts album.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. I'd never listened to that.
That's a funny looking 12-inch LP there.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be one of those typical sort of, because I'd heard like Chutzpah stuff off of Chutzpah stuff, which was just horrible, 3 minutes.
It was, didn't get on with Chuck. I really, really like that album. Yeah,
that's a fucking great album. It really surprised me, and I can't get Rooting for the Bad Guy out of my head. It's very much another version of sort of Sky Babies for me, or it's got that sort of feel to it. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's brilliant. And the other thing about it is Ginger's riffs are always fantastic, I think, and the vocals tend to be a little bit dodgy sometimes. And that is just full of loads of really good riffs with the odd bit of vocal. So that was good. And then the final one that really surprised me and are really, really good, and Damon, you would love them, is a band called Acid Mammoth, who just popped up on Spotify and said, you should listen to this.
They're a stoner band, huh?
Oh, man, they are amazing.
Did it come up on Spotify saying, your bass player should like this?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
their last single just popped up the other night. It said, this band you like, here's their last single. Their last single, I went to press play, it's 11 minutes long. It's like amazing. And the start is just like, it's awesome. They're so good. I think they're
thought
French.
that when I heard Bong Ripper. They have that album that's like over an hour long and it's got 2 songs. Like Damo would be into this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I do. I have got weirdly in my old age into more stuff where the songs are way longer, regardless of what it is. But I still love short puffy, poppy punk songs or whatever they are, really. So yeah, liking me some long stuff too.
But definitely check out Acid Mammoth, Damo. But all three of you? Yeah, all three of you should check out Acid Mammoth. Well, I was thinking of Steve and Gav as well when I was thinking that's only 2 people, but
Funny,
we are but one.
You've also stolen one of my questions, but you asked it in a more articulate way.
Oh, sorry. What was your other question then?
Yeah, basically the same, but new music.
Right, lads, can you talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds? The dog's just coming in, hasn't shut the door behind us. I've got to shut the back door. It's fucking freezing. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay.
What an asshole. What a fucking knob.
I mean, he says dog. Do we really believe it's a dog, or do you think he just wants to go outside?
He's
He's
just had
had
enough.
enough of this, basically, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's going to kind of shout and scream into a pillow or something. Oh, he's back there.
I think probably that fill that he did is probably my favourite bit for Steve.
I think Steve's all right. Oh, he's back. Oh, no. Okay.
Fucking twat. That's right. Oh, it's a Phil, yeah.
So is it, do you want another question? Another
please.
Luke question or a Gav question? What are we on?
My question three had 2 parts, so that can count as my 2 if you want, and go back to yours.
I don't mind.
Okay. All right, then question 4. What's the most self-absorbed thing you've ever done?
Apart from this?
Yeah, exactly.
I can show you mine in a minute. But...
And
No,
the
go
most
on.
Go on, let's see your example first, then. We have a frame of reference.
I'll show you. Whilst he's getting his, I'll show you
if
mine.
that turns out, if that is a, oh, okay.
Got stickers with my own name on, printed up and given out to people.
Did you see the headstock?
Yeah,
That's very cool.
that is cool.
I think it's.
Got my own ident cut on my.
I don't know. I don't
Me and Luke have opened
really have
ourselves up
anything
now.
that really kind of has me or my name on it anywhere, so I don't
I was
know.
going to say, this is the point in the
Doesn't have to be
conversation we
that,
realise
but there's
actually
probably
do have 2 prima donna twats that do the guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
Yeah.
some random
It's
normal
like,
blokes that do
that's not really
written
part of my
sex.
personality. Sorry. Yeah.
I sent Ollie a picture of the guitar after I'd done it, and his only response was, "Well, that's worth less money now." Only response.
It's not wrong though.
I don't care. That's an original, mate. You won't get another one like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, it's good. It is cool, but yeah.
Go on then, Gav, let's have yours.
What?
On my next question.
No, your most self-absorbed twatty thing. Oh, was that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought that was a
Printing
prelude. I thought that was
stickers.
just warming us up for you.
No, that's it. Printing stickers with my own name on it and sending them to people.
And not warning them in the first beforehand. And then
No warning. Just shows up.
I really thought it was money. I was devastated.
Sorry.
The quality of artwork is
Excellent.
True.
true. Excellent. Good. All right. Good. Go on then, Kev.
Next question. Where do we get to? Oh, here's one for Damien.
Right.
So you've got a choice. Option 1.
Okay. Oh, what's option 1?
Option 1. Option 1 is you let Steve shave your head.
Right. Okay. Or.
Option 2 is you let
Let him
Luke.
shave your balls.
What with?
Option 2 is you let Luke burn all of your guitars.
I'll shave my head because my hair will grow back. So that's
I
an
think I would
easy
do
one.
that.
Look, these are the questions.
Yeah.
That's
Luke
easy-
shave your
that's
head, Steve
easy.
burn your guitars.
Yeah, the other way around.
Yeah, I'd
we
say
get to
five
shave
foot
my
ten.
guitars?
Yeah, shave your guitars or burn Damien's head. That's the question for Steve.
Can I not do one and then the other? Does it have to be an either or?
No, you can do that.
I'm actually quite a good hairdresser, it turns out. I'm a good lockdown grade 2er. So, because Dominic, he's got this funny thing where you get like teenage boys nowadays like to have that sort of llama-looking hairdo, where you got sort of not short hair and then this massive puffball on the front of the face.
I don't know. I've not been outside much, so I don't know.
Well, I had to do that too, and he had these he had beard clippers for Christmas, and they had like an attachment so you can shave. He said, "Oh, it's a grade 2." So he gave me these things. I said, "Are you sure? It looks pretty short." Yeah, it's grade 2. So I was like, "Mate, this does not look like grade 2." Yeah, it's fine. It's and then you adjust it to grade 2 from like grade 0.25. right with this, mate? Yeah, don't touch the front. He's got a completely shaved head and a massive pom-pom on the front of his face.
Brilliant.
But I did a very good job. So yeah, I could shave your guitars and then burn your face off.
I think Damo's head would go up quite well. Like your
would.
hair, I think, would act like kindling.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Incredible. It would smell pretty special, I imagine. Candy floss. But
Not heard burning, not smelled burning hair before then.
The devil's candy floss.
My next question is for Steve, and I asked it last time, and the reason I'm asking it again is not because I think it's entertaining, but because I've forgotten the answer.
Oh, I thought you weren't satisfied with the answer.
No, you gave an answer, and I was like, all right, and then I've since forgotten it.
Okay.
Why don't you like
12
beer?
and a half inches long. Oh, was that not right?
yeah.
Yeah, why don't you like beer? I can't remember.
Because it's fucking awful.
Beard?
Beer.
Oh,
I love beer. Beard's ace, I think.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
recollection
beard's-
from 20 years ago is ace.
I
No,
think
beard.
beard's horrendous. But you got the choice of something that's natural. It comes from a tree, which bears fruit, which then gets pressed, and all the lovely juice comes out of it, and it ferments as God intended to create a beautiful nectar of the gods. Or you can have some fucking well water that's had some bloody hops and barley soaked in it for a bit, and it tastes like your mum's fucking underwear. Or, well, not your mum's, not specifically one's mum's underwear, I imagine. And then you get a fucking horrendous headache in the morning, and you projectile vomit for 3 days afterwards. Instead of being hungover. I mean, you tell me.
Flavours at all, does it? I've seen you looking grey and or kind of pale after a load of beer. So yeah, I can understand why you don't go near it. That's for sure. But,
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we're all with me, right? I mean, we're all on the same page, yeah?
I love beer.
I think
Like
you might be
the
drinking the wrong stuff. Like, if you're getting unwell from it, it means there's some sort of chemical or something. If you drink
Or you've
like
had too much
German... Sorry, Damo?
Or you've had too much of it, like
Yeah, there was that.
I've had too much cider on many occasions. I did not end up the same way. No, we were years and years ago. We were in Germany for some sort of when I used to sell office furniture and lighting shit, and we were at like the world's or Europe's biggest office furniture convention, which was as ace as it sounds. I can promise you. But it was in Cologne, I think, and they had these little. So the beers come in little 200 ml sort of thin, tall glasses, and most of it is head. So you have to drink it, and the idea is that you drink it so it doesn't get cold. It doesn't get warm, sorry. Because if you have a pint and you take ages, then the first sip's lush, and then it gets horrible and dreadful. And I still felt dreadful after those. And that was like really nice. Well, it was fucking horrendous, but so say it was really nice beer and that. Because you couldn't, if you ask for cider in Germany, they think you're a fucking hillbilly.
Well, there's one common factor in all of this, then, isn't there? Like you can drink. Yeah, exactly. You can drink any sort of beer you want, and you get ill. It's only you, so it's you. The problem's with you.
I mean, that is a conclusion you could come to, but it would be incorrect.
I just have. I work with scientists.
Was it causation and correlation are not the same thing?
Remember, they are. I work with scientists. They've rubbed off on me.
Literally.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to report?
That's another story. Did you go to HR?
No need.
All right. Over.
Yeah, they were rutting against them like that.
So we're back to Luke for some insightful questions now.
No, you only asked one.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, it was Damo the head shaving conundrum.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And Stevemo, why don't you like beer?
It wasn't much of a conundrum.
So imagine that the world has been completely turned up. Something catastrophic has happened in the world. All right, just imagine that something that's caused the world to just go a bit mental, right? And the only way you can survive is by living in a sitcom. But that sitcom is completely real to you. Okay, which sitcom would you choose?
Men behaving badly.
Okay, so You would be either Tony or Gary, essentially, that sort of character. Okay. Good choice.
But maybe 2.5 Men, mainly because I'd be living in Malibu. That would be pretty cool.
All right. Yeah. Gav?
I like Damo's answer. What is a sitcom set somewhere warm near a beach where they drink lots of beer and loaf about?
Was California Dreaming? You know, the...
Actually, changed it. Red Dwarf.
Okay. Would you? You see, that's the thing. We started watching Red Dwarf from the beginning, Chris and I, and like we were talking about this, and like at what point would you get to, you know, oh, I'm the only human alive, we're 3 billion years away from Earth, and the only person I've got to keep me company is that stupid hologram. At what point would you think, well, give up then?
Well, no, you be the stupid hologram, and then you've got the friendly guy to hang out with. You can hang out with Lister, who's fun.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Excellent. All right. Okay. Then my next question.
What would yours be?
I was thinking more sort of maybe the American Office or something like that. That seems to be fairly all right. You know, I could handle working for someone like Michael Scott. Okay. So Gav, now to my next question is something that was inspired by you. So. Question 6, part A, what's your favourite sweet? Question 6, part B, what's your favourite chocolate bar? Because I thought about that because I've noticed that Kit Kat are going to start doing a vegan Kit Kat, which the only trouble with that is it's Nestle, so I know that you wouldn't go for it anyway. Yeah.
Why, because they're Swiss twats or something?
No, the guy, I can't remember his name, the owner of Nestle has been campaigning to make water not a basic human need, so that he could sell water to the poorest people in the world and make money.
Was it Dave Nestle?
Dave Nestle. That's him, yeah.
Ryan Nestle.
That's an interesting thing to say, because obviously Southwest Water just sent us our bill, and it's fucking unbelievable for down here because we pay for the beaches, which I mean we get to use the beaches, so I'm not. So are we all paying for water really?
We are, but you can go into a pub or a restaurant and ask for a glass of tap water, and unless they're refusing you entry for some reason, they're legally obliged to give you a glass of water.
Okay. So it's that sort of.
Yeah,
so
he's saying
Nestle,
should...
is he like a Weatherspoon sort of competitor, and he doesn't like you having his free water?
Yeah, he's like Tim Martin from Weatherspoons times a million.
Sounds like a right twat.
Yeah.
Or the guy out of Pimlico Plumbers, or whatever they're called. That guy is yeah.
They're all
so,
twats.
What was the question?
Yes, I can't remember what the question was.
Question part 1 is what's your favourite sweet, and part 2 is what's your favourite chocolate bar?
I don't really eat chocolate.
Well, not anymore, you don't.
I never really did anyway.
What?
I mean, occasionally, but I wouldn't like buy a chocolate bar and eat it.
You've been a closet vegan for decades, haven't you, mate? You've only felt comfortable enough to come out.
Just waiting for an excuse.
How did you eat a chocolate bar then if you didn't buy it? Did you go around stealing chocolate?
Yeah, obviously.
Right, okay. How did I know?
I don't know. Favorite sweet?
Yeah.
Also, don't know.
Okay. If you're asking, pear drops, dime bar. There you go.
Dime bar's a good shout. That's strong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say either pineapple chunks or cola cubes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Push come to shove, I'll probably go for the pineapple chunks, and then good old crunchy bar.
Okay. Yeah.
Pineapple chunks. Yeah. All right. I'm going to change my answer to that.
Oh, well done. Thank you.
Well, pending a better answer from Dana.
Wasn't there a band down here called Chineapple Punks?
There was, yeah.
Probably those rhubarb and custard sweets. So yeah, I'll usually pick those out. And for chocolate bar, Snickers probably.
I also top it. Oh, okay, Snickers. I knew it'd have nuts in it.
I thought you were going to pick some sort of Bavarian chocolate.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's kind of like most of those are kind of. Yeah, like it would be like a bar of Lindt or something, but of some description. But yeah, if I was going into Anne's shop and was after a chocolate bar, then it probably would
Which
come out
just
the Snickers.
Luke, who was that?
No, it's a little servant kid that we have.
So my question is the one that's a little bit like your open question. It's specifically for Steve. So Steve, if you were Damo for the day, would you, as Damo, choose to be me, Luke, or yourself? Do you want me, I can repeat the question.
No. I've got the question. I'm just thinking, what would Damo do if he was me? I'd jump into Luke. Oh no, you did. No, I'd jump into Gav.
Okay. So if you were Damo for the day, and you had to jump into me, Luke, or yourself, you jump into me as Damo.
Yeah, because Damien had said he would jump into Luke, so I figured I would have to do something different to that.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's also similar size.
Yeah.
Like, you'd get most of Damo into Gav.
Yeah.
Only if he's nice and relaxed.
Yeah, you've got to buy me a bottle of wine first. Take me out for dinner.
Vegan wine.
Yeah, vegan wine, obviously.
Yeah. It's water, isn't it?
All right, next question. Damo.
Hi.
Who would win in a 100-meter sprint with all the members of Wood, and we're allowed to choose our own weapons?
Who would win in a 100-meter sprint, but we're allowed to choose our own weapons?
That's correct. So obviously you wouldn't want an oversized machete because you'd be running really slow. But you wouldn't want like a small knife because if someone's too far away and they're running too fast, you wouldn't get them. So you have to be careful about selecting your own weapon.
Yeah, what if you're used to using a small knife? So you're quite handy with a small knife.
Yeah, if you're skilled with it, yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you what, Steve would probably win, so I'd have to pick a javelin so I could steer him. So that way it'd be.
I've got little tiny legs. I wouldn't win. How about that?
You probably would. I'm pretty unfit at him, and he'd probably beat me.
My weapon would be a bike.
All right, interesting.
Yeah. Well, then you'd hit Damien over the head with it as he goes past.
Yeah, you're not allowed to pedal the bike. You can only use it as a weapon.
Well, yeah, my weapon would be downhill. 100 meters downhill.
Could I just say, so going on the subject of 100-meter sprints, we had a works sort of evening out thing, not last year, year before last, at Chepstow Races, where they had a Caribbean night, which was brilliant. And they sort of pay for us to have a box to get the whole office and factory out there. And they have like strategic people with like a big envelope of money. So if you need a drink, you go to a guy and he gives you a drink. And towards the end of the night, all the races are gone. So they had
I've been to loads of places like that. I want a drink, I just go up to this special place.
You're a special man who has money in an envelope who then buys it for you.
Oh,
so you don't so you don't have to pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 kitty guys. He's got the kitty. Anyway, so they run all the horse races, and at the end of the night, I noticed that the security fences had been taken down, so the race course was completely open and available. So we had our own little Chepstow race 2 furlong dash, and I did win that one actually because everyone else was completely shit-faced, and I didn't fall over.
because you've been drinking cider.
Precisely that. And then we got escorted out of the race course.
What weapon did you use?
I've got a question.
Go on.
Oh, Gav's raised his hand.
Oh, wow. Go on.
Was the horse poo on the course?
Not that I saw. It was very dark though.
Likely.
And I did manage to make my managing director pull a hamstring because he didn't warm up properly beforehand.
Sure, they don't poo on the course.
What?
They wouldn't poo on the course, would they? Well, they don't have a dump while they're running round.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a horse and you need to go, you just go.
Yeah.
I have an expert next door. Next room, I can ask her.
Do you want to ask?
I gave you a quote in German earlier on, Damo, and you didn't bother getting the expert for that.
Yeah, but this is
horse shitting on a bit of ground.
This is serious shit now.
This is important.
Hey, go on then.
I'm going to find out.
So while he's doing that, I do know that huskies shit whilst they're pulling sledges without stopping.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, because it's a hazard because it flies up into your facial region sometimes.
That's because they're similar to, they're stressed and they're really tense. And
Oh, I tell you what,
it's just they need.
There's nothing funny about jogger's bottom, I tell you.
So the answer is yes. They do sometimes poo when they run.
There you go.
Good.
So,
That's
any other
concluded.
questions?
That strikes
He's
me
bad
as being
at the
a
moment,
result because what that indicates is that their horse was eaten fairly recently. And
Yeah, you want to get the
horse
energy up.
as possible.
Yeah, but well, usually you'll feed them in the morning, so they have some fuel. I'm not going to starve them.
They give them like dime bars and stuff, don't they, so they can run faster.
Exactly, yeah.
Makes sense. Some cherry coke.
Load of cider.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. So yeah, that concludes.
The world's most important question has been answered.
Yeah.
I'm on my last two questions now. Although question 7 is A and B, so I hope that's okay.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, so question 7A, what's the worst sunburn you've ever had? And question B is, what's the worst or the most cold you've ever been?
I can remember the most cold I've been.
I wonder if we're going to say the same thing.
No, you weren't there. I was in the Himalayas.
Yeah, I was going to say I was in the Himalayas as well.
At the same time.
Okay, that question's over. Gav wins. Well done, Gav.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
all I had was like
Well
a
done.
hoodie and a light pair of trousers, and it was like minus 18 or something. And we went to watch the sunrise over the mountain, and it was like 100-mile-an-hour winds and ice and stuff everywhere. It was
Not quite as romantic as
Not
you originally
optimal.
hoped. Yeah.
it was nippy.
Yeah.
I
What's the coldest? What's the
I
worst
purchased
sunburn
the
you've ever had?
worst sunburn. I don't remember particularly having bad sunburn. I sort of don't really burn or tan, just immune to sunlight.
Fair enough. That sounds good. Steve, Damo?
After you, Steve.
Well, clearly we can't win the whole. I mean, I was going to go for when I was in sixth form and we stayed out one night and we found a boat in the middle of a field, so we slept in that. But I didn't have any covers or sleeping bags, so I shivered in a boat. But I think Himalayas at minus 18 with a hoodie kind of beats out.
Yeah, but it's relative though, isn't it? So that's the coldest you've ever been.
It was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
Freezing. But most memorable sunburn, I don't know about worst one, but most memorable sunburn, a couple of seasons ago, did the Southwest Sevens, and I forgot to put sun cream on, and it was like really, really hot all day. And when I got home and took the t-shirt off, I had, those sweets, drumsticks.
Yeah.
The bright pink and white, and literally the sort of my t-shirt tan was absolutely red hot and white. That's the most memorable sunburn. I don't know if it's the worst or not.
Coldest I've ever been. I did this trail running race that was in winter, and it was it was snowing, and got on top of this ridge, and it was kind of blowing sleet horizontally in your face, and you're kind of having to kind of run in puddles with loads of ice in and frozen water, so you kind of go and I can't actually. Well, my feet had gone numb while trying to run, which is interesting. That was a bit brisk. Still not. It still doesn't beat Gav, but I was kind of piss wet through as well as kind of as well as being.
Interesting. You use the word "have" as well in that. Like I have to run in these puddles, and I have to run along this bridge. But you could have just sat on your ass.
I could have gone. No, I'm not doing it.
Oh, I could watch EastEnders tonight.
If you kind of commit to it, then you kind of have to do that.
I suppose, yeah.
So
Otherwise, you just don't bother. But.
I reckon I know. I'm thinking. I reckon I know the coldest Luke has been from your hint you dropped earlier about could it have been the same thing.
Go on then.
I reckon it was sleeping in a barn in Maker in December. That was pretty fucking cold.
Fucking stupid. That was stupid. But 20 Balls Each did a good profit on hoodies that night, I seem to remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they were selling hoodies and everyone bought hoodies and just Oh, it's an artist studio up at Maker. That was just so cold. So cold. It's one of those nights when you're just every sort of 5 minutes you're checking the clock to see if it's time to get up because it was that cold.
I've just got up and gone for a walk and just
desperately not trying to have a wee.
I seem to remember Jim didn't have a sleeping bag, Katie didn't have a sleeping bag, and they both just slept under a curtain.
Yeah.
Amazing.
When I was at school, still at primary school, we went on holiday and I spent all day in the sea. And my mum had put loads of suntan lotion on me, but obviously it just got washed. It was like waterproof, and it got washed off, and that was terrible sunburn. That's where all my freckles. If you look, if I show you next time, I've got a line across my shoulders of freckles, just a huge bundle of freckles, and it's a line from that. And I remember getting back to primary school, and they had a microscope at primary school, so I was peeling bits off my back, and we were putting it under the microscope to see what my dead skin looked like.
Nice.
So there we go.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay, so my final question is a bit more relative and sensible, okay? And this is based off of something that I was thinking about today. I don't know why. Is there an album that gives you a very emotional response, but it's something you wouldn't ever listen to without that emotional? So for me, give you an example. For me, we went on holiday. I went on holiday when I was about 14 with some friends, and we were away. And one of the guys who I was with was a lot older than us, had a car, and he was driving around. And in his car, he had one CD that he listened to the whole time we were away for nearly 3 weeks. We listened to it's called Wild One, the best of Thin Lizzy. And I reckon I could sing every single word from the start to the end of that album, but I would never ever choose to listen to a Thin Lizzy album. But if I hear that, it's like, oh yeah, that was brilliant. I loved that summer. That was amazing. So I would never buy a Thin Lizzy album, but I can probably sing a lot of Thin Lizzy songs as a result. I can play a few of them just as a result of those 3 weeks.
Fucking awesome, yeah.
No, as a result of listening, no, because they're fucking easy. But you know, it's songs when when you're sort of noodling around, you're like, oh, that's such and such. You don't mean to play it, and then you're like, oh, if I do that and that and that, it's so and so. So that's what's happened. It's sort of in my subconscious, is what I mean. Yeah. So that's for me. Is there any particular album that you can think I would never ever choose to listen to that or ever buy it, but because of this, I really like it?
No.
But then that's a kind of.
I mean,
if I
albums
like
are long,
it, I would listen to it
thing.
though. That's the thing. That's a bit of a kind of strange question.
Yeah, go for songs, but albums, fuck me, man.
Okay, all right, a song then. A song.
No, still no.
Because it's almost like it. Because that's almost like the question of, do you have a guilty pleasure? And it's like, no, if I like it, I like it. So.
Yeah. No, it's not a guilty pleasure thing. It's just I would never go into a record shop and go, oh, I must buy the latest Thin Lizzy album. However, if I heard,
I don't know. I suppose the memories of the music that my parents played when I was very young. Their vinyl collection. So yeah, they had like an ABBA greatest hits album, and I do like ABBA, but I wouldn't go out and buy an ABBA album.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go.
Great shout, mate.
All right.
I said that's a good shout. Actually, I'm going to follow that answer, but it'll be Queen because I remember my parents used to listen to Queen, and I like it. I would like to listen to a best of Queen, one of those records they put out. Great hits, thanks, Steve. But yeah, I wouldn't rush out and buy a copy of it and something like that. But yeah, they've got some good tunes.
You haven't lived, mate. You need to go out and buy a copy of it. Just go on Spotify. It's free. Just listen to all the Queen on Spotify. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
If you do that, Gab, you'll find there's maybe 12 songs you'll go, oh, that would make a good album. And then there's 1,000 songs that are just absolute guff.
I mean, they have.
Oh, hang on, whoa. Pot, kettle. Who are we to criticise, for Christ's sake? Come on.
No, hold on.
I'm not saying any. But
we haven't got any good songs. Absolute exception to that.
Yeah, how dare you?
Nobody's made a sort of real film about us.
Yeah, exactly.
They
And
should
I
make
suspect when I die, nobody's going to hang around outside trying to take photographs over my wall and stuff like that.
Depends
I
how,
imagine.
depends how you
I
died,
don't
and
know.
what you were doing, just before.
I've already planned it, Damo. I'm going to die like my granddad did, which was peacefully in his sleep. Not like the rest of the people in the back of the car. They were screaming. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Yeah, that's all my questions.
All right, Steve, Mo, do you have any questions that you would like to ask?
No.
Maybe. I
No?
suppose.
Are we going to get a reading from the
got this
Bible?
book a while ago, which was like,
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Knew it would come in handy.
you know Richard Herring?
Yeah.
Have you? We went to see him for my birthday, Damo. He did the Exeter show that he did. Chris took me to see him. It was brilliant.
You like him, do you?
It was excellent. Yeah. So, have you ever tried to suck your own penis?
No, I haven't.
Have you successfully sucked your own penis?
Would you prefer
No.
a made of ham or an armpit that dispenses sun cream?
What was the first option?
A hand made of ham that regenerates anytime you bite into it, or an armpit that dispenses sun cream?
The sun cream option.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
beats
Vegan, yeah.
You don't have to use it.
Vegan ham, yeah.
Sun cream's got eggs in it, so often.
But also, ham. It wouldn't be. It would be your own. There'd be no pig.
It'd be long pig.
Also, I think you're confusing sun cream with mayonnaise, Gav.
Is that why?
Is that vegan sun cream? This fucking sun cream smells a bit right. Doesn't it? It's vegan, get it on you.
Okay. Why are the seagulls attracted to me?
More attracted to him.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's always like some kind of. Oh yeah, that would. Obviously, you must have listened to his podcast, so this one I quite like. Does sex with a robot count as cheating on your partner?
Is your partner a robot as well?
No, your current partner.
Are we robots in this scenario?
No.
You have to.
You are you, and your partner is your current partner. But
I mean, how sentient is the robot? I probably wouldn't do it. Is that the question?
Yeah, that's an answer. What about you, Steve?
This is going out on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
No, of course not. No, I'd never do anything like that ever. But no, in my luck, I'd end up with someone like Dusty Bin or the one from Futurama or something. So I'd be like, oh, really?
Yeah, R2D2 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, well, I've said yes already. Then go on then.
Here's one. Frog or gorilla?
Gorilla.
I assume this is winning a fight, so I'm also going gorilla.
It doesn't matter. Gorilla.
Frog or gorilla?
No, it's gorilla.
It's
Never frogs.
Frog then.
Frogs can
I'll
fuck off.
choose the contrary one.
No, you won't. Not allowed anything to do with frogs. Frogs can suck my balls. No. Next question.
Of course, I'm now reminded of your kind of hatred of frogs.
Yeah, that is a bit weird, Steve.
Actually, hang on a sec. Why have we not had a song about Steve and frogs when we've had loads about Gav and bananas?
Well, because you know this sort of thing where Gav pretends to like bananas and it's all funny and and Gav he's a one. But if anyone actually did try and do something about frogs, I would literally kill them. I would cut them.
All right, I'll write you a song about how fucking horrendous frogs are. Send me a text in the next couple of weeks with the worst things you could ever describe a frog as. All the things, or put all your hate into a message. Send it to me, and I'll write a song about frogs.
That could be quite a long message. I think.
I'm not. No, see, I can't really think about them. I'm getting a bit twitchy just thinking about that. So we need to move on from the subject. Things
like that. Write that down, like what you just said. Send it to me.
Anyway, next question.
I'm out of questions.
Me too.
That's the end.
Yeah, too far away.
I might stop recording this now.
I would.